Hi Fierce fam, what is up and what is happening? So I really wanted to talk about these two different stereotypes within the disability community that are very contrasting. So on one hand we have the independent, you overcame it, you didn't let it stop you, a disabled person, right? And then we have on the other hand the lazy, helpless, you don't contribute and you're not trying hard enough, disabled person. I really want to talk about why both of these don't make sense. But before we even jump into that topic, hi, my name is Tisu and I'm the CEO and founder of 22 Clothing, the Us 2 brand, the only place to get fierce adaptive clothing with an attitude where access is the aesthetic. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing today, you can cop it on 22 Clothing, link in bio. It's support a disabled business owner and get fierce. Okay, all right, let's go. One of the things I really want to start off with these two stereotypes here is that it leaves absolutely no room for nuance. So, using me as an example, my friends would consider me very independent, and then my PCA would consider me as someone who needs a lot of help. And honestly, both are true for me. So an example is like when I was bedridden, trying was literally the hardest thing I was doing. It was literally the hardest thing I was doing. Some examples of things I had to deal with when I was bedridden was like, I remember at one point literally being so dizzy I couldn't breathe. Like the motion of my chest going up and down literally made me sick, and because I was so sensitive and everything like that. And sometimes even getting into the living room would be a special thing. So yeah, it was definitely really hard. So trying was the hardest thing I was doing. So I feel like it really doesn't make sense to be mad at a disabled person for not being stunted in major area life, because no one gives you the manual to thrive with a disability. No one tells you how to be disabled, and no one really models what it's like to live with the realities of a disability and everything that comes with it, and then still be able to move forward with it. No, you don't see a lot of that in the mainstream media. So when I was bedridden, I was considered like the helpless. Why aren't you trying hard enough? You're being lazy, blah, blah, blah. Like, why do you spend 22 hours a day in bed? And like, what about your caregivers? What are you going to do if they're not there? Like all those types of things. That's the type of stuff that I would hear. But now several years later, I'm considered like the opposite of that. I'm considered like you're so independent, you overcame it, it doesn't stop you. And people would say things like, you wouldn't know you're disabled, and I don't see you as disabled, regardless of the fact that I literally use mobility devices. So, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't have many achievements. I have gone to college and graduated with my disabilities. I have two businesses that I both work from home with both of them. I have my own apartment, and I have been on TV and radio with my clothing brand. And so obviously I'm at a point in my life where I'm actually surpassing my able-bodied peers professionally. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not independent now, but I'm also not going to sit here and act like I'm not helped sometimes too. So I'm no longer bedridden, but I'm still housebound. So it's obviously still severe because, I'm only able to leave the house about 2 days a week for a few hours at a time. And I do still have a PCA, a personal care assistant, and I do use a power chair. So those are all markers of like severity and severeness and everything like that. And, while my health has improved from like bedridden to housebound, it's not necessarily the main thing that took me from point A to point B. It took me from so helpless to so independent and stuff like that. And it's not, and really just like a life that resembles like normalcy, for like a lack of better words, rather than the stereotype of being stunted in every area of your life with a disability. And when I talk about like every area of your life, I talk about like things like work, school, socializing, marriage, with like marriage inequality and stuff like that. And then just independence in like terms of like having your own apartment and different aspects that go into that. I haven't named everything. But the main thing that really helped me go from point A to point B was innovation. So something I wanted to add in that I felt like was worth mentioning is how I got to where I am in my life, even though I'm still housebound. So basically, like as far as college went, I did a 2-month certification course. I didn't feel like I could do like 2 years, 4 years or anything. So I just did a 2-month course. And then there's work. So like both of my businesses are virtual. They're work from home. So obviously 22 Clothing, I do that from home, and then like there's the virtual classes. And then like socializing, dating, I do that online and meet in person, also with the platonic friends as well. And there's different categories I get into, but I'll talk about it in another video. I made up this thing called the 7 A's of disability. The first one is adapt, accommodate, alter, advocate, ask for help, and the last two are achieve or accept. So if you're not able to achieve, you can accept that you're not able to do that thing and, move forward if possible. The thing that people really don't realize is that to get to that point A and point B that I discussed is that there's a lot of trailblazing in a path that was not there. Like I mentioned earlier, like you're not modeled in mainstream media. Like what is it like to live with a disability and the realities of it, everything that comes with it, and still move forward with all of that. So that's not modeled. So you're literally trailblazing a path that was not there in the first place. And it's a painful trial and error in a society that is not built for you and does actually try to stop you. So basically when people class you as like the so independent, they think you can do everything by yourself. And it invalidates the fact that sometimes it does stop you. Sometimes you can have those helpless moments. It also invalidates the fact that it can challenge you on a regular basis. Like I have to accept that I can't do certain things sometimes. And I have to accept that I will need help sometimes as well. Disability, like it's literally in the word, like there's going to be something that you can't do because of it. Both of these stereotypes are harmful because it ignores the needs of the so independent, and it ignores the efforts and the strengths of the so helpless. So you can be both, one or the other, or everything in between. So this helped. I hope you liked the video and shop 22 Clothing. All right, bye.